Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for those foods that can become lethal or cause some kind of health hazard if either stored, cooked, or prepared improperly.
There is no cooking, there is no smoking, like nothing at all.
Number 10, rice.
With my rice, I like to have some cow. It tastes so very good, I don't know how.
Rice, both uncooked and cooked, can harbor bacteria known as Bacillus cereus, which, yes, can cause food poisoning. And the longer cooked rice is left out at room temperature, the more time the bacterial spores have time to multiply. So, what can you do? Serve cooked rice as quickly as possible, for one. Ideally, cool freshly cooked rice within no more than an hour, and then keep it in the fridge no more than a day. Check your country's food safety agency for advice, since some countries differ on timelines, and when it comes to reheating, do not reheat rice more than once.
It is beautiful for me. You want to try some?
Number 9, chicken.
Do you know what's going on with this flipping chicken?
The word is it'll be ready in 5 minutes.
With chicken, the number to remember is 165. That number has nothing to do with calories or grams of protein, but rather, it's the internal temperature you want to cook your chicken to. Why? It's called salmonella, and it is, according to the CDC, the bacteria responsible for the most foodborne illnesses and can also kill. And it's estimated that 1 in every 25 packages of chicken at the supermarket is contaminated with said bacteria. So, first off, you want to be careful during the preparation process and wash everything that touches the raw chicken. Hands, utensils, cutting boards, you name it. Then, when you cook it, getting that internal temp to 165 degrees Fahrenheit ensures the killing of any salmonella and other similar heat-sensitive pathogens.
Yan. Good.
Number 8, kidney beans. When it comes to beans, you're probably thinking that the most deadly thing about them is what emanates from people after eating them. Yeah, we went there. And while we definitely don't want to discount that, we're talking about actual serious health risks here. Raw kidney beans contain a toxin called phytohemagglutinin. They should be soaked overnight, then have that water discarded, and then must be boiled for a minimum of 10 minutes at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And let's not forget about raw lima beans, which contain linamarin, which, when eaten, turns into cyanide in your body. So be sure to cook them incredibly thoroughly as well. Number 7, wild game. While meats raised and slaughtered in sanitized and controlled environments can still have bacteria on them, imagine animals out there in the wild. Bears, deers, hares, and other animals out in the wild can find themselves filled with both chemical and natural toxins and parasites from their environments. And if you eat any of these wild animals, whatever is in them could easily end up in you, which makes proper preparation and cooking that much more important. Make sure the meat is butchered and cleaned thoroughly, and that it's cooked through to a proper temperature as well in order to kill any potential bacteria. Number 6, shellfish. When we talk about shellfish, it's Vibrio bacteria that is the main danger, although there are others. This particular form of bacteria lives in the waters where many types of shellfish can be found, and as such can easily contaminate them. This makes proper cooking essential, as vibriosis can cause great intestinal distress and can also kill about 1 out of every 5 people afflicted with it. If we're talking raw oysters, there's no cooking involved, of course, which makes it a risky meal choice without doing your due diligence in terms of provenance and time of the year. Same deal for mussels and shellfish in general. Don't cook any with open shells, and then discard any that do not open during the cooking process. Number 5, Hutak. If you're from Iceland or have ever visited the beautiful country, then you probably know what Hutak is. For the rest of you, Hutak, the national dish of Iceland, is fermented shark.
As the meat decomposes, it oozes toxic ammonia.
Or more specifically, fermented Greenland shark, or similar types of sleeper shark. To say it's an acquired taste is possibly an understatement about the flavor profile here. But beyond the taste factor, the bigger issue with Hutak is how dangerous it can be if not prepared properly.
When the meat is at a perfect rotten state, it's hung to complete the breakdown process.
Greenland sharks have a high level of urea and trimethylamine oxide in their flesh, and this can be quite poisonous if you eat enough of it. However, the traditional months-long fermentation and drying preparation, if properly done, nullifies the toxins, making it safe to eat.
Yeah, this is going to be very good.
Number 4, elderberries. Talk about two extremes. On the one hand, elderberries are one of the most popular medicinal plants on the planet and are also enjoyed for their delicious flavor. While on the other hand, if not prepared properly, they could make you very sick or even, in extreme cases, kill you. And by prepared properly, we're talking about two main things. First off, the berries must be fully ripened. And second, the leaves, twigs, and the seeds of the berries can be deadly and must be avoided, as they contain a glycoside that produces, well, cyanide. And that ain't good. So straining and preparing elderberries properly is critically important.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Number 3. Cassava. While cassava might not sound familiar, they could just be because you know it better as yucca. And if yucca still doesn't ring a bell, we're pretty sure you've heard of cassava starch, or as it's more commonly referred to, tapioca. We don't want to scare all you bubble tea lovers out there, but yes, those yummy pearls in your drink originally contained dangerous levels of cyanide prior to being properly prepared and turned into the boba tea that is slurped up through that extra large straw. There are two classifications of cassava, bitter and sweet. And while both need preparation to reach non-toxic levels, the bitter ones require more steps in said process.
Because I see the tea right there and I see the boba over there, so why don't we just not combine them?
Number 2. Potatoes. While some people prefer French fries, some like mashed, and others are all about scalloped. That's not what we're talking about when we say watch out for cooking potatoes the wrong way. We're talking about first taking a good look at your potato and making sure it isn't sprouting or green. Here's why. Potatoes contain glycoalkaloids, including one called solanine, which, if you eat too much of them, could make you sick or even kill you. Which brings us back to those sprouts, as they are an indication of elevated levels of glycoalkaloids. If they're small and not numerous, you could potentially cut them out, although that is not a 100% guarantee. However, too many and too big, just throw it all out.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Fugu. OG The Simpsons fans will know exactly what we're talking about here.
Hey, what's this? Fugu!
It is bluefish.
But assuming you missed that classic Season 2 episode, or aren't well versed in classic Japanese cuisine, allow us to enlighten you on fugu. Fugu means a poisonous pufferfish, and we don't use poison lightly here either. These puffers can kill you if you ingest the wrong part of them. We won't act like we know the safe way to prepare and serve the fish. In fact, the safe preparation of fugu is so difficult and precise that restaurant chefs in Japan, Korea, and many other countries must complete 3 or more years of training to even be allowed to prepare it.
Fan fugu-tastic.
Do you know all these food facts? How about any we missed? Let us know in the comments.
So sweet.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.